successfully. So this one is recording already. So let me share my screen so we can get started. Let me share my screen. You asked a question on the Telegram. Okay, you know, once I'm done with the breakdown of today, then everybody can throw in their questions. Okay. So once I'm done with the whole breakdown, so everybody can come with their questions and we can learn from ourselves. So can you guys see my screen now? I'm coming, I'm trying to set up everything in order. OG before IG, don't go sign out for IG eventually. After you say your mind no go touch ground. You go buy a Ferrari when you know fit to start the engine. And I hope everything has been making sense so far. I hope everything has been making sense. Like I said, still have a long way to go, but trust me, you guys are going to be wild at the end of everything. So you guys should not really panic too much. Even though you are finding it hard to add the whole concept together, once we get to the second phase of things, which is the section of the trading plan, then everything is going to be much more clear. So you have nothing to really worry about. Come on, you know, go like the produce bit like this. Don't worry, I'll definitely have my record label. That's actually part of my plans, right? I will have a record label for sure. And because even Shido, he texted me, he told me he's a musician, but the track where he sent give me no suit. So I'll look for people that is better so I can sign them. So actually, I really, really do love music because like I'm not really a fan of other things like smoking, all this kind of stuff, and even drinking is like few. But when it comes to music, like that thing actually connects to me. Like even when I'm sad, when I listen to music, I'm always fine. I'm always fine. Do you get? So everything that I do, so far music is involved, I will be fine. So music is life to me. So that's why I have a lot of speakers here. Even my speaker self is enough to set a standard trading space because they are fucking expensive. You know, but I love music from a very great sound. That's like a therapy for me. You know, and I don't really leave my house. I'm always indoor most times. So all I do is listen to music, sleep. I don't play games. My game is just like decoration. So listen to music, sleep, and just look at the chat. Yes, and woman, you get normal level. Richard, see finish. Don't worry. Robta, don't worry. All these things will actually be in the record. Let me stop this record and start it over again. Or should I continue the record like this? Should we just continue like that? I should continue like that. Okay, no problem. So can you guys see my screen? Okay. So now, so let's start from Euro USD. Let me clear my chart. Ooh. So now, when I say reflecting on everything that has happened previously, that simply means I want to like, we want to like backtest together. But the backtest is kind of going to be strictly eye and sight, not like I'll be using the replay too. So I'll be using it to explain some things that I've actually talked about in our previous sessions. So let's start from here, right? And the two things that I'll be using to break down this chart for us is the two major things I've actually talked to you there, which is the ABC and the trading range. Right? And the true break of structure. So those are the things I'll be using to like break down this chart. I'm not going to be saying other things that I've not explained yet. Okay. So now looking at this chart, let's start from, let's say I'm starting from here right now. Okay. So starting from here, I want you guys to just follow me. We have, this was where market broke the first major structure. Right? So in every swing, because after market transferred money from here, I'm sure you guys understand that already. After market took out this external liquidity, that means the order flow have left this side. Now it has been transferred to this side. So now that it has been transferred to this side, looking at this particular price action now, are we going to say this guy that created a new high is also a money transfer? That is actually a very, very tricky question, because at this point in time, all that this guy came to do was to only come and mitigate. So when a market, I want you guys to listen to this rule. When a particular low does not take out an external liquidity before creating a new high, it is not yet a successful money transfer. It is just a mitigation. Okay? There's a difference between this. Pay attention. There's a difference between this. High, low, then market came, took out this liquidity, buy. Do this again. Took out this liquidity, buy. Do this. Took it out, buy. So all these ones now transferred money from here to here, right? This one, boom, transfer money from here to here. This one, boom, transfer money from here to here, right? This now is different from this. When you have a high, high, low, oh, sorry, let me draw it somewhere else. High, low, high, low, high. Transfer, boom, cleared. Well, now let's say we have another transfer like this. Boom. Now we now have this. So let me show you what I'm trying to say. Liquidity, transfer from here to here. Liquidity, transfer from here to here. No liquidity, no money transfer. But it created a new high. So which means this guy, as at this point in time, it is not tradable. Not until what? You now have this. Boom, 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 boom. The market came. Look at it, oh. Create a new high. Then now, this guy is not a money transfer because this guy did not take out an external liquidity, right? But because we already now have an incomplete pullback below it, then we would actually turn it to a POI. I am not going to trade it because this low is not as a result of money transfer. But with this new thing that is happening here, it simply tells me that the market is trying to start a new money transfer, because anything that our market does this and this, that simply means market has actually started a new money transfer, which means this guy moved from here to here. So now we can now buy from here to continue. Are you guys getting me, please? We have a lot of things to round up. I can't be talking like snail. I have a lot of things to say, so I can't be talking like, this is money transfer. Yeah, I will explain it again, don't worry. So now, let me give you a quick summary. Do you guys understand this one? Do you understand this one? This one here. Do you understand this one? Huh?
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Do you understand this first one? Okay.
Yes,
but this second one is, okay, this second one is simple. Listen. Why is this? This one took external, break structure, external, break structure, external, break structure. There are different types of external liquidity, but once we get to liquidity, I'll break that down for you guys too. But look at this. So for us to call it a money transfer, it simply means why would market come from here, break a structure, come back to take that low that break that structure out, and still created a new high? That simply means they came for a stop hunt, which means this guy is a protected low, which was derived from this guy. So it is tradable. The same thing here. So this one too is tradable. The same thing here, which means this one too is tradable. But now look at this. That is why we can call them money transfer. This is not money transfer. This is order flow. Listen attentively. This guy, higher highs and higher low, is order flow. This guy right here is money transfer. We don't give a fuck about order flow. All we are interested in is money transfer. So that is why if you have an order flow inside money transfer, the order flow is not tradable. So which means when you have a high, low, high, low, high, then this guy is a money transfer, correct? We have another money transfer as a result of internal range external liquidity, then boom, another one, boom, money transfer from year to year, from year to year. So now all of a sudden you now have this, boom, mitigation. What did this guy do? Nothing. So this guy is an order flow. We are not trading from it. Until market creates a new what? POI inducement for you in the form of an external liquidity again, which is ABC. Then we are going to anticipate that, okay, we have an existing liquidity now, that this is our POI. Then we will use our several type of confirmation to get in on this. But if you want to be patient enough, you wait for this guy to create a new high, then you pick your trade from here again to continue. So can you guys distinguish the difference between money transfer and order flow now? So when you have an order flow inside your money transfer, that order flow is not tradable. You are not interested in it. You have to wait for some sort of things to form. Am I making sense, guys? Guys, am I making sense? Good. So now, that is where this comes in. Now look at this. Oh, I would like to let this chart go. While I did. I'm coming. Good. So now, looking at this chart now, we have mitigation from here. Then, as a result of an incomplete pullback, boom, then market took it out. But this mitigation is not just enough. This is where I started from. This guy is, this one transferred money. Let me use this one. This one is easy to use. Transferred money to here. But this guy is an order flow. That is why I diverted. So which means I am not going to trade it. That is why you can see that when market get there in the future, you can see how they blow past it. You can see how they blow past this guy because it is an order flow area, not a money transfer area. But now look at this. An order flow area, you guys you don't have idea. Now look at this. Now, this is money transfer. Good. So now, we now have an order flow after. This is our demand of order flow. In our order flow, you now have a drop, a base, and a drop. Right? So this guy is now a POI. Because this order flow, other people will see it as a valid area. But now that the market reacted a little bit, it created a base, which is the form of a supply. Once we get there, we'll talk about it. Then market came, incomplete pullback to it, then come back to use the base to sell. That is what happened here. This guy is what is the order flow area because this guy did not take out any liquidity before breaking structure. Then the market keep going. But when the market decides to get there, it rallied up a little bit, then it dropped. Yes, correct. That is the violation block, right? So the market created an incomplete pullback, then come back to mitigate it. So this is a trade for me. This is a trade for me. So now, after this has happened, what are we looking for again? We are looking for, at this point in time, we'll be expecting price to come and take out this incomplete pullback right here. And how is this an incomplete pullback? Let me show you. This guy, this is where structure got broken. internally. But the market retraced, but did not fill this gap. You can see the week to week. You can see this gap to this gap. So this guy is an incomplete pullback, which means I will be open for price to come back to this extreme level at a 50% retracement before the market still keep moving to the downside. But yeah, what's your question? Please unmute yourself and ask the question.
My question was is that, hello?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So my question is that when you said about the money transfer, I get it, but how do I get a confirmation when there is a change in state in delivery or it is a money transfer?
Yo,
Then suppose
bro,
I'm going
come
to
again, bro.
can't you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Shaman, as you say, you dey
Yeah.
laugh.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, please come again. I'm with you, please.
Yeah, so what? So I was asking about that. If I am doing a money transfer, if I am getting a setup of money transfer, but suddenly there is a change in state of delivery of the price. So how do I get that? That it is a money transfer or change in state of delivery? Suppose market has turned all the way down from there.
Okay, are you saying, let's say we are having, I'm trying to get your question right. We're having a money
Did you
transfer
understand?
now, like this. You keep going,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Then all of a sudden, what's now happened? It changed character.
It's yes, it's changed the character. How do I get to know that this money transfer will not be valid over here? How do I know that?
Okay. Will I be able to explain? Should I explain that now? When we actually get to time frame, like this is how it works. Now, let me brief it to you guys. Let's say you have money transfer and this is 15 minutes. How to use time frame is very important. Now, there is structure inside structure, right? So now, let's say this whole money transfer is a 15-minute move that we are anticipating for price to come to a particular supply above. What do I mean by that? This can actually be a money transfer as a result of a retracement. But we would know, once we look at the overall direction, we will know that, okay, this move is a retracement move for market to come to our HTFPOI. So which means when market now does this, then money transfer again, then rally to this higher time frame. Let's say this is now 4H. Then in this 4H, we now start to have a new micro money transfer. I'm coming. Let me break that down. So now in this 4H now, we now have market does this, rally up, inducement inside that 4H, rally, then break structure. This is our demand for the money transfer. So we know that this guy took out an external liquidity in our 4H. So the least that this buy would do is to retrace a little bit and what? And fail. Because now this is a 15-minute order flow and this is sponsored by 4 hour. And we know that 4 hour is way bigger than 15 minutes because based on our analysis, we have derived that this is a corrective phase for market to create a new low. So structure will tell you exactly when not to, when you should be skeptical about an order flow because every movement has a purpose. So once that purpose is met, for you to know that the purpose is met, that means it has hit the desired target. And the desired target is probably going to be liquidity or order block, depending on what you trade. But I don't give a fuck about order block. I trade major and minor liquidity. So, but when it comes to a major liquidity, that means the order block has to be a major order block too, because a major means is a higher time frame. So the order block of it too has to be from higher time frame. So knowing the fact that, okay, what is the purpose of this present move that is coming now? I know it, and I know the potential place that it needs to end. Once it ends, it's now hit a higher time frame that is bigger than the existing move. then I know that the last order flow that hits that higher time frame is most likely to fail because the purpose of this move has been met. Does that make sense?
Completely understood. Got it. Thank you.
I like the question, but I'm still going to get there fully, right? I'm still going to see.
But I got it. I got it.
Yeah, you will definitely get it. Like Forex is everything is there. It's on the chart already. Trust me, it's there.
Yeah.
It's there, but you just have to understand why. Like, because if you buy a move, you know the reason why you're buying it. And if you set a target, you have a reason to set the target. So setting target and buying, you have to know that, okay, I am in a corrective phase. And if you're in a corrective phase, you know that your move is not going to last. So you should be able to anticipate what you want to target for the move to end. Once it ends, any money transfer against that higher time frame move will be cleared because the purpose of the move has been met. So a true break of structure again is now what? Apart from double break of structure, another type of true break of structure is a break of structure that invalidates a money transfer, not order flow. So this means if this does this, it only break one structure, but it is a true break of structure. But if it is like this, order flow, and you have just one break of structure, it is fake until you have two. But if it is a money transfer break, then one break of structure is enough. Because we know that this guy took out an external liquidity before breaking structure. So this is supposed to be a protected high. Now, market blew past it. So which means what kind of energy was strong enough to be able to take out this order flow? It must have been as a representation of a bigger force compared to this. So which means for it to invalidate a money transfer, this guy has started a new move. So this is a break of structure, even without breaking two structure. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah, 100%.
So order flow has to break two structure. Money transfer, one structure is enough. Because you're already building up a narrative in your head that, okay, this guy protected low, boom. And every protected low rule is that it must not be cleared. Another protected low, boom. So what would now happen for market to not clear it? That means there's a force stronger than this force. So which means a new wave has started. Then you are starting a new trend.
Way more clear. Way more. Thank you.
At the end of the whole thing, it is what? Price action. Okay, Mr. Lifeline, who wants to be a millionaire? Ask your question.
Thank you, sir. So the question I wanted to ask is regarding the 50% replacement fee. That's actually the same question I asked on the Telegram group, because like this particular pullback now that created this strong high from here, it didn't pull back to 50% of this range. Like from here, this break from here to here. Now it didn't pull back to 50% of this before it created this protected high.
Okay.
So you said if price doesn't pull back to the protected high, that means to 50%. That means it is an incomplete pullback. So it's not a sweet point.
I don't understand your question, because if we calculate from this high to this low, this is the 50% right here, and this mitigation past 50%. But I get your question. See, there's always something I call. Let me break down the question for others so you guys can grab. I'm coming. This is what it meant. It means, let's say the market is coming. Like, quote me if I'm right or wrong. So others would relate. Let's say the market is creating something like this now. Boom, boom. Then all of a sudden, let's say protected high. Then boom. Then all of a sudden we now have this. Does not pull back to 50%, and even the protected high too does not pull back to 50%. Is that what you mean?
Yes, sir.
So which means, will you now be considering this as a new swing to continue your trade, or you will still consider all these ones to be liquidity and still be expecting it to be cleared? Is that the question?
Yes, sir. That's the question.
Good. I love that question, right? Momentum and distance, like I explained, they are being formed in different ways. But there's a rule which says every order flow will experience mitigation. Every order block or every order flow will experience mitigation. What does that mean? Even because you anticipate something does not mean other thing that makes sense below it is not going to play out. Why does that happen? Now, looking at this mitigation, it can be that this guy, there's a particular base, there's a particular valid demand right here. I'm coming. Let's say this is a liquidity now. It took our liquidity, then the rally. So this guy is a protected from the left too, and this guy is supposed to buy from here. Then all of a sudden, he only give a small base, then he drop. So which makes this guy what? A violation block, like this one. So because there's an incomplete order flow here, does not mean market will ignore this one that got flipped right here. Because the rule of mitigation after an external liquidity has been taken is the closest order block is what the market would use. Because if we call this our B leg, the purpose of grabbing this liquidity and turning immediately is for market to take liquidity here and to also trigger the buy stop traders, because this is how buy stop traders trade. They set their limit at this high and expect anytime the market does this, market should keep going. So it triggered their entry, then it stopped them out. So market must not move too far away from liquidity for you to call it a liquidity. You can't call this a liquidity. Let's say this is your POY that you mark. Market, there's now liquidity here. Market now does this now. Let's say this is your POY now. Market now does this. Equalize here. This is the equalize. And there's a particular, market can never come like this. Boom, boom. It can happen, but it doesn't make sense. Because for something to be a liquidity grab, the market has to print an order to hunt the money and trade against it immediately, which means they have to print like a particular amount of money to take the whole stop sitting above the liquidity, but they can't invest too much on it. It has to be minimal because they want to grab it, trigger liquidity. You understand? Like trigger liquidity and trigger buy stop traders and trigger some people that will think it is a new break or structure, then hunt them all. It can't go this far